Oof. Filling a little space out. So I want to talk about symptoms and sensations that no one really mentions or really talk about. These are not like the common symptoms that a lot of us normally have, like the headaches, the migraine, the dizziness, the things like that. These are other symptoms, sensations that I personally get. You guys might get, know someone that gets them, but you might think that you're the only one. Because trust me, there's some symptoms and sensations that I get that I thought I was the only one that get. For example, some of us get brain zaps. For me, I don't think it's really a brain zap. I get this electric shock sensation through my head, but it's always in the back of my head when I get them. It's kind of hard to explain, but just imagine you can get in like a jolt of electricity in your body. But for me, sometimes it lasts for a couple of seconds, sometimes even lasts for like half an hour. But like I say, it happens on the back of my head, especially when I get like bumps in the back of my head. That's where I feel it. And then sometimes when I get them and I touch it and I can feel the electric shock on the back of my head, and sometimes my head falls off. Another thing is, you can get pimples, random scars on your legs, body, whatever. You might have that. Scars meaning like it looks like you scratch yourself, but you don't think you're dead. Sometimes you might be sleeping in the middle of the night, you start scratching yourself. Bruises. Sometimes I wake up with random bruises on my legs. I don't know if I'm like kneeing the wall when I'm sleeping, because sometimes when I do sleep, I move around a lot. I twist and turn, and sometimes I don't. That's why I think it's like bruises and stuff like I always get it on the same side, on the same leg too. It's not always on the same leg. I mean, it's not on different leg, different part of my body. It's always around the same area. Um, like I mentioned, sometimes it comes and it goes. And you know, the other thing I get is this 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 flash of light in the corner of my right eye, like right here. I used to get it real bad. I think it happened in towards the end of 2016, early 2017, and then it slowly went away, and then it's back, and then it comes and it goes. But it used to last for like a couple hours. If I close my eyes, I can see it as well. It doesn't hurt or anything, but it makes you think you lose your vision. The other thing I get personally, what else do I get? There's so much other symptoms and sensations that you get with panic disorder that you don't even like. You have to think about because there's so many. Yeah, like ringing in the ears. It's not just ringing in the ears where you hear like a sound in your ears. Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night or early in the morning. You think you hear someone calling you. Sometimes you hear like a knocking sound, like someone's knocking on your door. It happened to me a couple of times. The first few times it happened to me, it used to happen to me like in the middle of the night, and I would freak out. I would actually think someone's knocking on my bedroom door, so I would open the door, and I would say, "Who is it?" No one's there. Everyone's sleeping. And then my girlfriend would wake up and ask me, "What happened?" I said, "I thought I heard someone knocking on the door." Then she would tell me, "Oh, you were talking in your sleep. You were saying something about I'll open the door, knock on the door, and I'll open it to test something out." And then I guess like in my mind, I was dreaming about something. Then I woke up and I was thinking about it. Then you get, I don't know. This might not be just with anxiety. This might be common for some people. Um, Sometimes you think about something for so much that you dream about it. For me, sometimes I think about something, I end up dreaming about it. Like work, where I used to work, things like that. Not only like things about work, but just random things. Like sometimes I'll think about um, where I want to go later on the day or tomorrow. I'll start dreaming about it. I'll start naming places, and then I'll start dreaming about all these places. Things like that. Before, when I didn't have anxiety, the only thing I ever dream about is my childhood, like my old, like where I used to go to school. But I wouldn't dream about a bunch of random places that I want to go. I would just think about, oh, where do I want to go, and name a couple of places, and then if I'm going with my girlfriend, my daughter, and my family, we'll all pitch in and say, oh, we'll just go here, and that's it. But I don't dream about places like that. Like I said, that might be part of anxiety, that you're overthinking, you're thinking about too much. Other thing you can get, sometimes we get aches and pains on our body. It comes and goes. For me, um, it's not as bad as it used to be. Right now, when I'm sitting on the computer, using the computer, when I get off my chair, if I sit down for like 15, 20 minutes, I'm fine. But if I sit for like half an hour or longer, my back will hurt. Like I'll get up and I feel like my spine is like messed up, and then I'll get up with my back kind of hunched, and then it slowly gets better. I don't know if it's the chair or what, but that's how I've been. Sometimes I used to get this random this vision, like vision problems. It's not just a double vision or a blurry vision, a tunnel vision. I used to get like on, I don't know which side of my eye. I believe it's on my right eye. I used to get this yellow tint around my eyes. I haven't had that for, I think the last time it happened was early 2017. I don't know if I was like outside looking up in the sky, looking at the sun for so long, even for a few minutes, and I'll see that yellow tint. I would think it's like a reflection of something in my eyes, but then I would look around and then I'll see like this yellow tint floating around. It's not an eye floater that I get, it's a yellow tint around my eyes. See, tight, like not just tension, but sometimes my head feels tight. I wouldn't say head pressure, but it feels like my scalp, like where my hairline and stuff, it feels tight, and it feels like someone's pinching me on my head. It's like I have to think about what I get, because there's so many symptoms, sensations that, have feelings that we get that we don't even know until it actually happens. So for me to actually think about it when it's not happening, it's kind of hard. Dang, I forgot. Or like jaw pain, some of us you might not realize, but sometimes I'll get jaw pain, and so I have to like kind of adjust my mouth. Like I'll go like this randomly, how I'll bite my lip. We also pick up bad habits. For me, you'll notice my habits are like biting my lips, my gums, whatever. Sometimes you'll see me doing this because I get annoyed like when my hair is like kind of falling off my hat and it's touching my ears. It makes me itch, so that's why you always see me tucking my hair back in. Another thing, sometimes you feel like your clothes is too tight. Your shirt feels tight on you. It feels like it's squeezing you. You're wearing a hat. Your hat feels like it's too tight. Even when you loosen it up, your pants, even your shoes. Sometimes it might feel like you're wearing like a shoes that normally fits you perfectly. You might even up a size, half a size up, and it still feels like it's too tight on you. But I'm pretty sure there's other symptoms, sensations that we get that I can't really think of at the moment. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now, and I'm just gonna head back home. Other symptoms that I forgot to mention are nerve pains or buzzing around your face. It's kind of hard to explain unless you've gone through it. It just feels like your face is bursting, or the top of your head is bursting. It's like a static. When you're watching TV, how you listen to like the radio, and then there's like static. That's what it feels like. Sometimes I get that static feeling around my face, top of my head, or sometimes both. It's like just a buzzing nerve pain. It doesn't really hurt. I don't know why I say pain, but it just feels like a buzzing sensation. The other thing I get sometimes, I feel like part of my body, it's like, notice how this part is higher and then this part is lower. Sometimes I feel like one side of my body is like leaning one way and the other is leaning the other way. So sometimes I feel like I'm doing this, sometimes I feel like I'm doing this. But most of the time it feels like this side is a little higher. My right side feels like it's a little higher than my left side. The other thing I get a couple of times when I'm walking, sometimes my legs move. Feels like it's moving quicker than my upper body can catch up. It feels like my legs are running this way and my upper body is like in the back trying to catch up. There are times that I feel like one leg feels like it's longer than the other. If that makes sense, it just feels like imagine you're walking, one side of your foot you're wearing sandals and flip-flops, and the other side you're wearing like shoes. One side you're wearing shoes, and the other leg, the other feet, you're barefooted. That's how I feel sometimes. Sometimes when I sit down on the floor too long, like I am now, and I get up, sometimes I feel like I I'm taller than I really am. I'm only about 5'10", 5'11". Sometimes when I'm sitting on the floor, I feel I feel like I'm really short, and then once I stand up, I feel like I'm like 8, 9 feet tall. I know it doesn't make sense, but I just feel like it's like I went from sitting down to like jumping on the table and standing on the table. That's how I feel. And when I look down, it looks like I'm looking 3, 4 feet down. Like when I'm standing, I look down, I feel normal. But there's time when I look down, I feel like I'm standing on something that made me another 2, 3 feet taller. See, I think sometimes I feel like there's fluid in my brain, dripping like fluid, like leaking down my neck from the side of my head. It feels like it's dripping like some fluid in my brain. It's kind of hard to explain. Just it's like you're sweating, but you're sweating from the inside. There's times that I get like inner shaking, like we get body tremors and stuff. Like outside our body will start shaking. Sometimes I feel like my inside my head starts vibrating, like I'm doing this. It's like that, but it feels like it's coming from the inside. Um, Sometimes I can hear my heart pounding in my ears, but my heart is not even racing. I can hear and feel my heart in my ears. Sometimes I get this like really bad ear pain. It feels like someone is like trying to plug their finger, how put their finger in as far as they can in my ears. That's what it feels like. I think that's about it that I can remember. About symptoms and sensation, how feelings that um, not too much people that has panic disorder, anxiety really mentions. So like I say, there's so many symptoms, sensations that we get with our panic disorder. Some of us might get something that someone else never heard of, vice versa. And then we start thinking, oh my God, I'm the only one that feels this way. And then once you start thinking that you're the only one that feels this way, I have this symptom or this sensation, then you're going to start thinking, oh my God, I have anxiety and I have some kind of illness that no one ever heard of. But it's pretty common when you have anxiety. Everybody's different. That's why I might feel a symptom someone else might not get. You might have a symptom I don't get. But as far as other symptoms goes, that's pretty much that I can remember. That I get that no one really talks about. I'm pretty sure there's more that I don't remember because a lot of these I don't really feel anymore. I don't really get. So it's like if I don't get them, I don't really think about it until I actually get them. But other than that, that's pretty much it.